Kia ora guys! So today is a serious video, so I'm not going to do my typical can-do, happy-go-lucky kind of start that I usually do, but I thought I would take this time to introduce myself and tell you a bit about my story for those of you who have recently joined me, because it all ties into the oxymoron I'm about to say a bit further into the video. So, kia ora! My name is Brisingrize, but my real name is Brooke. I am 22 years old and I live in Auckland, New Zealand. And a year ago I was diagnosed officially with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or as I like to call it, CPTSD. CPTSD is a very difficult mental illness to live with. It leaves me exhausted and sometimes I am in chronic pain. And it can be a very, very hard thing to sort of live with every day because it is constantly in here and it's constantly in here, which is a huge problem. So, the reason I have CPTSD is because I got bullied through most of my school years, from the time I was in primary school year 1, new entrance, to the time I left school in year 13, where the bullying had sort of lessened its effects because of something that happened involving my mother, who was the other reason I have CPTSD. And I won't go into details of that. All you need to know is that she was a very abusive person, not just mentally, but also physically. And she did a lot to break me. And she unfortunately succeeded. So when it came to wanting to start a career and do the things that other people take for granted, it unfortunately all got too much for me and I couldn't do it, which is when I sort of decided that I was going to stop trying to live a dogmatic life that everyone wanted me to live, and I was going to break my own chains my way by going to counselling and talking about my experiences and also wanting to follow my dreams. And I apologise for the crazy lighting back there. We are in the middle of an Arctic storm that just hit out of the blue yesterday. So what has CPTSD got to do with this video this time around? Well, here comes the oxymoron. I'm getting worse. But I'm also getting better. And that probably sounds like the most ridiculous thing to say about CPTSD, but it's true. I am learning to cope with it a lot better than I used to now that I better understand it. I'm not having to worry about it as much. I'm not having to justify myself as much, because now that a lot of the people that I care about know about my condition, if I'm breaking down and crying or assuming the fetal position or doing any of the things that can happen with my CPTSD, including at night having stabbing pains running down my back or having emotional flashbacks, which are probably the worst because they're triggered by an emotion that I don't understand, then they can help me through it. And that's what I mean by getting worse, because the effect of them as I am getting older is that they are really draining me. And that's okay, because that's bound to happen, because I'm fighting my own brain. And my brain, or my mind that is a pretty strong thing. And it's always been very strong. I've always had a lot of resilience. So when I am trying to fight these things, my brain's going, no, you need to experience these things. You need to, you need to remember this stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't. But that's not more or less the reason I'm getting worse. As you get older, and this is something I'm sure a lot of people can understand if they live with chronic pain or a mental illness, or just feel stuck in the life that they're living right now, is that you start to question yourself a lot. And being 22, I know I'm only a baby, I don't look 22, people have told me this, you're on the cusp of adulthood, basically. You go to your big 21st and you celebrate, and most people have graduated from university by then, or are going to graduate university the next year, or have got their license, or have got their own car, and all these wonderful things that they get to do. And then there's someone like me, and most likely like you out there, because a lot of you who watch the channel do have mental health problems, and I support you 100% in whatever you do with it. Just remember that I am here for you, and I am one talk away, because this is why I'm so open and honest, because it's getting people talking, and that's what I want. That is all I want. After the amount of times I've tried to kill myself, if there had been someone like me around that time, I think I would have been a lot stronger. And I know I was strong. I know I was. I don't keep beating myself up over that. But in regards to how I am getting worse, there is a little known side effect, a darker side to CPTSD, aside from excruciating pains and bad periods and all these wonderful things that come along with it, you know, like putting on sad music to make just a bad day a little bit worse because you want to wallow. Nothing wrong with that, you can go ahead and do that, it actually helps sometimes. And that's frustration. And a lot of people don't understand what frustration can do to someone. And what frustration does to me is it just makes me really, really angry. It makes me practically explode. And I used to have anger management issues, and that's most likely was my issues starting to rear their ugly head at the time I was 5 and 6, with the bullying I was going through at my primary school, where I wasn't just getting bullied by students, I was getting bullied by my teachers, and then having to come home and try to justify why I'm getting in trouble when I don't understand why, because I'm just trying to keep my head low and get through school. But unfortunately, I was apparently a bit of a star, and because I was so talented and a lot of things, especially creativity, go figure, that put a lot of people off me. And because I was always asking why, and I wanted to learn all this stuff, and I was significantly more advanced in my reading and my spelling, because I was reading books by the time I was 3. You know, I was just going and trying to gain as much knowledge as I could. I used to be a walking, talking encyclopedia. And in some cases I still am. So, frustration is the big thing that causes me major problems. Because there is a lot of stuff I want to do. When your childhood is basically made up of abuse and bullying, you're kind of numb. You know, you remember some of the good things, like going to the Gold Coast and going down to Wellington to see dinosaurs from China, which I still remember with a big grin on my face, because God, that was awesome. There is so much frustration there because you sort of take a step back when you're 22 years old and you see all your friends doing all this amazing stuff and you're like, hang the fuck on. Why can't I do that? That's not fair. You know, I want to learn to drive. I want to do all this stuff. Why do I always end up fucking shaking, you know? And you just get angry, and then it's just like, bluey. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire. It'll go boom. So, that's how I'm getting worse, because as I'm getting older, as I'm realizing that I'm stuck, because, you know, as a kid and a teenager, you're more focused on school and you've got all these distractions and you're not sitting at home all day. You kind of, I guess when you get to my age, realize that you didn't have much of a childhood, you know, you didn't get to do the things that other kids like to do. And it kind of makes you sad. I mean, it certainly makes me sad, definitely. So that's how I'm getting worse, because then that's affecting my triggers quite badly, because I exhaust myself with that frustration and then I can't sort of control my triggers, and they'll hit like a ton of bricks and I'll just go down because there's nothing I can do. So that's really hard. But then I said another thing, didn't I? I said I'm also getting better. So let's talk about the positive thing now. How the hell can I be getting better with complex post-traumatic stress disorder? Well, I'm taking risks again. And that is something that you need to do when you have a mental illness, no matter how scary it is. You need to take a few risks. Controlled risks, by the way. Don't do anything like ridiculously stupid. And I shouldn't be saying like so much, but that's the only way I could think about saying it. In terms of risks that I take, I horse ride. And that is considered a dangerous sport. But I love it. There is nothing like getting on a horse and having them take care of you. And horses are now being proven to be one of the best therapies for mental health problems, because they ground you, because they're so intelligent, they understand you, but they do push you, and that is what you need sometimes. You need a partner that is going to push you and keep you moving forward. That is one of the ways I am getting better. Another way I am getting better, of course, is by doing YouTube. And that might sound crazy, because it sounds crazy to me too, because I never thought this would work, and now look at me, we're so close to 75. If I get to 1,000, I'm going to be beside myself. I'm going to be so proud, but that's not going to stop me. My frustration does stop me, because it wears me out, and then I can't really have the strength to do a gaming video, which is really fucking frustrating. I'm doing my best with it. So, I horse ride, I do YouTube, I go out with my friends and my family, and I just try to live life the best I can. So yeah, that frustration just kind of catches up to me, and I just have to work with that. So by taking the risks that I'm taking, you know, going out with friends, doing all that cool stuff, and I apologise for pausing just then. My sister came back from her treatment, so I had to get up and move around. So I'm not being stuck in the house every day, and that's really, really good. And on top of that, I'm writing keywords with Qualador. I'm doing all these things that I never thought I'd be able to do. So even though the triggers are getting worse, and even though I am struggling with the frustration, which I think I always will, because I'm kind of my own worst enemy in that retrospect. I just sort of beat myself up over not being able to do the things that other people take for granted, but then understanding that, hey, you're not like everyone else, you know. Not everyone else had to deal with what you did, and that is kind of why I feel that doing YouTube has been one of the best things I've ever decided to do, even though I was freaking terrified, because I'm actually doing this, you know, I'm actually doing something that I enjoy, and I love it. I love talking to you guys. I love the fact that there are comments, and I love the fact that I get to play video games that I missed out on, and there are so many I want to do. You know, there's Transformers in there because I just found them again. I'm watching the, you know, gaming movies that people do for them because I really want to play them because I love Transformers. And there's just all these wonderful games out there that I haven't even scratched the surface on when I get the PC up and running and stuff. And then on top of that, I'm horse riding on the weekends, which is just good for this. But really good for this. And I'm just so thankful that my life is very slowly turning around. I am so thankful that I have a platform to be able to talk to you guys. And most important, I'm just so thankful that you guys are here, because if it weren't for you, I don't think I would be getting better. I think I'd still be stuck. I think I'd still be in my bed at 12 o'clock in the morning, even though I was today, but that's because I was tired and sore, and also because the weather's shit. And when the weather's shit, I don't want to go outside, so I just wanted to stay in bed and keep warm and watch YouTube videos and write, which I did. So it really is all down to you guys that this is happening. It's really all down to you guys that I am getting better. And even though my triggers are getting worse, I feel like I can handle them a lot better now. I just need to get that frustration under control. Or perhaps learn to cope with that frustration a little more. Maybe channel it into something, which is what I'm trying to do with YouTube. But I don't want you guys to see the frustration on my face. I don't want you guys to hear it in my voice, because it's not fun. And it doesn't sound very nice. And then you guys, you know, want to hear the happy-go-lucky kind of smiley thing that I really am underneath. And God, I wish I could hug you guys so much, because 68's insane. And at 75, perhaps we'll do a Q&A as well as the cream pie to the face, just to see what kind of questions you guys have for me, because it's always fun to sort of think about questions and answer them for cool people, so that would be great. So, what do you take away from this video? Aside from a little introduction about me and my story, and the fact that I am still struggling, it's that I'm living. I am living with CPTSD. That is why one of the main hashtags on my Instagram, even though it goes up and down like a yo-yo and drives me crazy because I wonder what I'm doing wrong, because I'm a freaking perfectionist and my own worst enemy in that retrospect, is that I am living with this thing. I am living with it, and I will continue to live with it, and I am thriving with it. I am slowly starting to thrive and come into my own again. And to know that that is happening because of you guys, because of the things that you have allowed me to do, is incredible. And I am so thankful for that. So if any of you guys out there are suffering with a chronic illness, or chronic pain, or anything that makes life hard, I hope you can look at me and see how I'm taking every day as it comes, and maybe find some solace and comfort in that. Because I really think that this channel is going to be something very special. I can feel it. And I think you guys can feel it too, which is so crazy. But yes, I'm getting worse, but I'm getting better. And that is all that matters. As long as I keep saying I am also getting better, then I don't care if I get worse in terms of triggers. I don't care if I need a PTSD dog if I go to a convention, just to hold my hand so that I can come and see you guys, because I will. I don't care about that, because all that matters is that I am finally feeling like life is worth it. that I have found life again, that I have found my fire and my hunger and my lust for it, this absolutely insane, wonderful lust for life that I thought I lost when I was 16 years old. It's back. And that means I'm back. And that trumps everything. It trumps the money. It trumps the chance to get published. It trumps the chance to ride horses sometimes. Because it means that I'm here. All of me is here. And all of me is coming out of the woodwork and showing itself. And for the first time in my life, people like it. And that is awesome. So I cannot thank you enough. I really can't. I'm just so happy. So thank you guys so much for watching this probably 17-minute video, if I keep babbling on any longer, about how I'm getting worse, but also how I'm getting better. If you guys like what you see, if you like the, I don't know how to put it, the generalization of everything, and enjoy me being so open and honest, and you want to see me play cool video games, and you want to see me be happy, and you want to see me get a cream pie to my face, because I'm going to, and I'm actually kind of excited about it, and going to conventions, and meeting my heroes, and bringing you guys along to some crazy, crazy shit that I want to do with my life, then hit subscribe, join the madness. And once the Facebook page goes live at 100, you guys are going to learn the story behind that. Why I call this group of amazing freaking people the madness. I tell you what, it's going to be an incredible story, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram, Brisingrize, and you guys can also find me on Twitter. Although I don't know how to put it. I don't really know how to use Twitter. There, I said I don't. I have no idea how it works, so I'm struggling with it, which is why I don't post on it very often, but I will, especially if this channel starts kicking up a notch, because we need to get some questions together for that Q&A. I'm also working on some collaborations with some close friends in the future, so hopefully we get that all done. But no, seriously, thank you guys so much for 68 subscribers. Holy hell. I can't believe it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao, Tiziano!